this story, it's crazy how tragically Takeoff was brutally murdered yesterday, and already the autopsy has already been completed. That is really fast. It's like as soon as he was put in the body bag and taken to the coroners, they did the autopsy. That was that fast. So they already identified the exact gun wounds that caused his death. And there is allegedly a person of interest. And the person of interest that people are saying possibly has ended his life is a associate of Quavo and Takeoff, and was actually seen in the vehicle with Quavo the night of the murder. So this guy right here in the back of the seat with Quavo, this man is the person of interest in the shooting, who is possibly the man who killed Takeoff. Isn't that crazy? This man right here, who is in the car with Quavo, is allegedly the man of interest. So let's get into that part first. So a man associated with Quavo and Takeoff is now reportedly a person of interest in Takeoff's shooting death. Okay. And there are people already going to his social media, and they are going off on him in the comments. They're attacking him. They are PO'd about this. So let's get into it now. Neighborhood Talk has revealed some of the information that we are going to go over. Okay, look, so the guy that you saw with the little short dreads right here, him, this is the man you need to pay attention to. He is the man that has the gun. This man is an affiliate of Jprincejr. He was in the same vehicle with Quavo, and they all were going to this bowling alley to celebrate the birthday of Jprincejr. So you see that? Look at this man. Let's go back. This man right here in the black has a gun in his hand. That's why you seen that little, this man right here. Well, no, not him. Hold on. So that's where the gun. So that guy over there. See, look at that. Look at right there. There is his gun. Right here where my mouse is, that is where the gun is. See, that man right here is the one with the gun. Right there. See where my mouse is? He has the gun. See, that's him. Look at that again, guys. There is the gun right there. Right there. So this man, this is the same man. This is the man who is right here in the back seat. This guy, the back seat of the car with Quavo. The night they went live, Quavo was in the car with this man that killed, the people are allegedly saying killed Takeoff. They think it's this guy right here. And Jprincejr is over here on this side. Just watch my mouse. So this man is the same man that is featured right here. This same man is this guy right here. This is the back of him. This is his arm right here. And he has his hand on the gun. Now, it doesn't make sense to me why he shot, because allegedly Quavo, who was having an argument, was ending the argument and walking away. I don't know why he felt the need to discharge the firearm, but you can see this man has the gun. There he is. There he is. Hold on. There he is. Oh, shoot, the camera just keeps going back. Look at the back of his head right there. He's for some reason, he was already going to discharge his firearm. And the weird part is when we get into the cause of death, to me, and I am sorry for being one of those conspiracy people, but this is starting to feel like, was this a hit? Because those are precise execution hits, where Takeoff was hit. This man had his hand on the firearm ready to shoot. Why? It was a verbal argument. Now, I did see at the end of the video where everybody started kind of bundling up together, like as if they were going to physically fight each other. So I'm wondering if when he saw that everybody was kind of starting to get a little aggressive is when he felt the need to shoot the gun. But look at this, guys. Just watch this. There he is. There he is. There he is. Right there. Right there. Look at the gun. Right there. Right there. See, you heard that somebody said, back the F up, they're going to hurt somebody. That guy in the orange knew something was going to go down. Did he see the firearm in this man's hand and know that something was going to go down? Because he immediately started walking away and said they're going to hurt somebody. He felt something was off, right? This don't sound right, y'all. Why did this dude feel the need to shoot? That's what we need to find out. And there's a conflict of interest because this is Quavo's friend who killed his nephew. So is he going to break the code of conduct basically in the streets? And is he going to speak to the officers about who he saw shoot the gun? Or is he going to keep silent? That's pretty much of a conflict. I don't know how Quavo, that's a difficult position to be in because you got one friend who killed your nephew. What would you guys do? I wonder what you guys would do in a situation like that. Let's play this again. Make sure you're paying attention. So they're pointing to where he is. So look, there he is. There's the gun, guys. There's the gun. There he is. There's the gun right there. Right there. There it is in his hand. Why did he discharge that firearm? It was a verbal argument. That's what I want to know. Everybody's so quick to shoot. Why did it have to escalate that far? That's the question we need to ask. See, that guy knew it was going to go down. He knew it. I wish we could have saw more of the video because somebody who was video recording, of course, they weren't trying to get caught or whatever. That guy must have saw this dude raise the gun and was like, they're going to hurt somebody and got out of the way. That's real suspect right there. And notice as soon as he said, I'm getting out of the way, they're going to hurt somebody, the shooting just starts happening. Right here. Okay, so you can see here, this is him. They're just showing you the back side of him, the same guy here with the gun. And then here, this is the same guy in the back seat with Quavo. So Quavo is in a huge dilemma right now. His nephew, who he loves dearly, is brutally murdered by an associate that he knows and he was hanging out with the night of the murder. Okay, let's go some more into these other pictures they got because they actually got a photo and everything. That's him, right? Oh shoot, I'm going back. Sorry guys, they got it. Hold on guys, let me go back. Crazy conflict. Why is this? What the heck happened? Okay. Nephew's the one that killed right there, allegedly. That guy. That's what everybody's saying. There he is. See, we told y'all that once the stuff starts coming out, and this is all allegedly, guys, we don't know if he was the one that did it because there was two different guns going off back and forth, bullets going both ends. So the only way they're going to be able to identify which firearm is responsible for this murder is they're going to have to do ballistic tests because there's two different firearms allegedly that was going off, two different camps shooting at each other. So once they take out the bullets, which they already have done because they've done the autopsy. They're going to do the ballistics, and then they're going to be able to match up the firearms. That is, guys, if they can get the firearm back, because this guy could have already dislocated, probably hid that gun, destroyed it, threw it in a river somewhere, an ocean somewhere. That gun's gone. If they don't get that gun, which probably not going to get the gun, who knows how they're going to be able to identify which firearm did it. But if they can really pinpoint who did what and what bullet killed who. But this guy started the shooting right there, smiling. And the thing is, this was on Quavo's story. He was hanging out with Quavo. He said, you know, it's all good in the hood. The homies pulled up. They got Takeoff right here. They got Quavo, Yin Chavez in Houston. The homies is the same homies that killed their own homie. That's crazy. See, the thing is, they thinking they protecting the homie when they discharge firearms, but firearms are not intelligent weapons. They're not going to sit here and the bullet is not going to select who it's going to aim at. No, okay? So you got to be careful, you guys, who is claiming to be your friend when you have negligent friends like this who think they're protecting their friends when in reality they're endangering their friends by randomly discharging a firearm at a public location that could easily kill their own friend. This is a complete tragedy because now Quavo is put in the most horrific dilemma anyone could ever be put in. Usually we hear about these shootings, we hear about somebody, an adversary of some sort, who kills the other opposing party or jealousy or something. But we're in a situation where Quavo was hanging out with this guy who is allegedly his friend. This guy is associated with Jazz Prince or Mike Prince, whatever the guy's name is, the rapper. And Jazz Prince always seems to find himself in the middle of a murder. This guy, Jazz Prince, to me, is no good. The people he hangs out with, in my opinion, is no good. Another weird part about this, guys, I don't have the video, but if you look around, you'll be able to find it. But there is a video clip of Jazz Prince and this guy casually walking past the dead body of Takeoff, showing no ounce of empathy as Quavo is profusely screaming for his friend. They didn't even stop to see if he was okay. They walked past his body as if they didn't care. And this is the same man that was hanging out with Quavo. Even if it was an accident, you guys, how could you walk past the dead body of your alleged friend that you tagged in this social media Instagram post as if you don't care? That is some cold-blooded stuff. And there is a video of it. I saw the video. I can't find a video right now, guys. Don't ask me to find it. It's out there if you look. But you could see Jazz Prince and this dude and his other little entourage just walking past as Takeoff's body lays cold on the ground, and Quavo is passionately screaming the most blood-curdling scream of no and mourning the death of his nephew on the ground. And now Quavo is put in a dilemma because now he has to either speak up about the tragedy of his nephew or he has to protect this friend that murdered his nephew. Allegedly. And this is all allegations, guys. We don't know what bullet did what, but you guys saw that video footage of his hand on that firearm. And witnesses are all saying that the person that discharged the gun was in the camp, the crew of Quavo. And this guy, I don't know what gang, whatever he is in. I don't know if he was one of the affiliates that Quavo checked in with, who was supposed to protect them that night. And in reality, instead of protecting them, he killed one of them. This is some complete mess. You got to be careful, you guys, who you are around, because you don't know if these people may not intend to hurt you, but people who do negligent things like this that end up costing your life, even if it was unintentional, it was still negligent. It was a felony murder, allegedly. Let's just say all allegedly, because we don't know which bullet did what, because again, There's allegedly 2 different firearms that are at interest in this tragedy. But this guy here, we're going to play again, is allegedly the man of interest. Here, sitting in the back seat right here, in the Instagram post of Quavo. That is so sad. This is this is going to be real sad, guys. There he is. There he is, right there. In the back seat.
I see nephew in the back seat back there.
Nephews are responsible for killing Quavo's nephew. Allegedly. Now look, there's Quavo right there in the front seat. Sorry, guys. Oh, God, come on. Hold on, let me try to see if I can get Quavo. So look, that's Quavo right there in the front seat, and right behind, right in front of the seat of the individual who's person of interest involved, the own entourage of Quavo and Takeoff. This is crazy, guys. Here is a photo, an actual photo, close-up photo of allegedly. This is all allegedly. We don't know if this is, like I said, this is all allegations. These are what people are saying in the streets that they think is the person. And that they have a video of him with his hand on the gun. So this man right here, let's get a little close-up of him, is the person allegedly of interest that law enforcement is looking for. And you notice right here in the background, there's Quavo. There's Quavo. This is a sad, sad, sad story. His own friend. You both have your own friend that's supposed to protect you. Not carelessly and wildly discharge a firearm with no precision. First of all, you shouldn't discharge a firearm. I'm not endorsing this in any way, guys. I'm just saying, if you're going to hang out with a friend that's supposed to protect you, quote unquote, that friend needs to know what they're doing. They need to know not to just act on their own crazy, wild, just wild emotions. Allegedly, people are saying that the argument was starting to diffuse and that Quavo was pretty much walking away and saying, we're out, basically, we're leaving. And then for some random reason, but then there was a part in that video where you could see people running up and kind of ambushing each other like they was about to physically fight, and then that's when the gun goes off. But again, first of all, you shouldn't be around people that's just randomly discharging firearms in the first place. But the weird part about this whole story is Jprincejr is associated with this man of interest. Quavo here is friends with the guy. Clearly, Takeoff is too. You got to be careful who you're friends with. You don't know. A lot of times, these friends end up costing other friends their life. Okay? And this is so sad. Because once the story comes out, and once this guy gets arrested, because they're going to talk to him, and they're going to do the ballistics, and they're going to be able to match up the bullets, and they're going to be able to find out whether that man's firearm is responsible, because they have already done the autopsy. So they have already taken out the bullets. They're going to be doing their tests to determine which firearm, what bullets came out of what kind of firearm was it. And if he did it, they're going to be able to figure that out. They got cameras too. This is a new building. So allegedly they're saying there's precise cameras, but this is the man of interest. People are already coming for this guy. They're already coming for him, y'all. Here, let me show you the post. So social users have already flooded his comments. They're on his comments. He says, rest in peace, Takeoff. New video doesn't look good. Rest in peace, Takeoff. And then Online Gigs Tube says, man, why did you even carry the gun at first place? You were even showing it off in the car with Quavo. The devil was at work, y'all. This is so sad. He was showing that same firearm in the video with Quavo all in the car and live. And people are coming for his head, y'all. So that's what one guy says, man, why did you even carry the gun at first place? He was carrying it to protect them, basically. He was trying to look out for them to protect them. But again, you got to make sure who is your friends around you. Because if you got people like this that don't know how to use a gun, just randomly just fly, like just shooting the gun all in the air, just randomly all over places, not knowing where to aim, their carelessness can cost you your life. And another person says, now the police is on your on your ASS. TMZ must made a report from you. Sorry, they said now the police on your ASS. TMZ just made a report from you and they searching you already. They searching you already. And then one says, taking a shooting course, bruh. They say, this person says, take a shooting course, bruh. You really killed him. This is not only devastating, but it's humiliating. Because the same person that was in the car with Quavo, the very friend of Quavo, the very friend of Takeoff, don't even know how to use a firearm. These people don't even have training. They just going around with a gun just thinking they just big and bad. And when things get out of hand just a little bit, they gotta just randomly start shooting. The guy that Quavo was arguing with didn't appear to even try to discharge a firearm. The whole thing escalated because the very friend of Quavo, you got to be careful who's your friends. Look at this. This man said, take a shooting course, bruh. You really killed him, huh? That's crazy. And of course, the guy probably feels bad because he didn't intend to kill his friend. But I'm just saying, y'all, got to be careful. Wait, what just happened? Where'd it go? Why did it just leave? Sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. Let me find it again. Here it is. Got to be careful who your friends are. Because if they're supposed to protect you, then they should at least be experts. See, these rappers out here, y'all, they be having what's called street security. That's not going to work. You need to have actual trained, professionally trained, certified security. Not some street dude. Because these street dudes don't take precise trainings. And they don't have any form of self-control, so they don't know when to escalate a situation and when to step back. And then one thing you'll learn in a shooting course, because I have taken a shooting course, there's one thing you'll learn, is that you need to find other methods to try to defuse a situation before you go for your firearm. So for example, you should have other weapons that cannot be so life-threatening, like a taser or tasers, pepper spray, and then have a firearm. But you need to be able to have the rationality and the reasonableness to be able to know when to escalate it and when to use what. This guy doesn't have any of that. He only has street knowledge. So street dudes just know how to randomly shoot people and end up costing you your life. So these celebrities need to learn how to hire experts, security who actually get professional training. They know how to read a situation. They know when to escalate, when to step back, when to get their client out of the situation or what to do. This man, none of that. He's a street dude. Don't know how to use a gun, don't have a training on a gun, just think he big and bad. You see him sitting there ready to shoot in this first video, ready to go. And it didn't even look like it was even necessary, in my opinion. Oh, wait, what is going on? I think I just messed it up again, y'all. It didn't even look necessary. Yeah, here, let's go back. It didn't look necessary. Look at the video again. There he is with his gun, right? Listen to the conversation. And you see, he's the other guy that's talking to Quavo, he's trying to de-escalate. He's not escalating the fight. He's saying, you don't have to be disrespectful like that. So it's not like he's saying, hey, let's fight. He's trying to de-escalate. He's like, hey, Quavo, you don't have to be disrespectful like that. It don't have to get that far. So again, why was there a necessity to shoot in that situation? It looks like the guy who's fighting with Quavo is not even trying to escalate it into anything more aggressive. That's the question we need to ask. This whole situation was escalated by the friend for no rationality. A lot of these people have firearms and they shouldn't because their emotions are uncontrollable. And they think anytime their little ego tends to be brushed in any kind of way, they think that gives them the green light to just randomly and wildly discharge a firearm and now tragically end the life of a beautiful soul who will never be able to have a family, children, and be able to see the age of 30 years old. Make it make sense. Just listen to the words, guys, and you tell me if you think it was necessary to shoot in this situation. Was it necessary? And another thing, this guy doesn't have any training. He didn't even aim for anything. He's just shooting all like in a wildly, like he in the woods somewhere. He didn't aim. He just shooting all over the place. Okay, it's like, really, make it make sense. There he is, right here. Okay, look at that. Okay, look at that. Did you listen to those words? This sounded like one of the most petty arguments I've ever heard between men. Number one, Quavo says, "You saw me play basketball. I don't play like that, man." All right, and then the other guy's saying, "You don't have to be disrespectful." This sounded like a petty argument, number one. It didn't sound like anything that was really serious or any necessity to shoot, right? Then Quavo lowers his tone and he says, "Whatever, man. I'm gonna go now. Or whatever, man. I'm going." So when his voice lowered, listen to that one more time and listen to the words they're saying, because if you listen to the words, it will begin to create a reality to you that there was no need to shoot in the first place. The whole argument was over. Why shoot?
Bro, I'm gonna hurt somebody, bro.
Oh, shit. What you doing? No, hell no.
Listen to the words. There's the gun right there. He said, "I gotta go. I ain't doing SHIT." That's what Quavo said. Quavo ended the argument. And the argument, okay, look, the people that he was arguing with, he knew those people. He called him a bro. He said, "You see me play basketball. I don't play like that, bro." So he knows the person he was arguing with, okay? Number one, they've had prior interactions. He saw him play basketball. He called him a bro. So it's like two bros arguing, right? Then he says, "Whatever, man, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna get involved in this, whatever." The argument was over. They were gonna leave. Why did this man here, who's a friend of Quavo and Takeoff, why did he need to shoot then? This is the case of when you are around the wrong friends. This man was no good from the very beginning. I'm sorry, I know it was a mistake. I know he probably didn't want to kill Quavo, but sometimes when you are in the midst of people that are of certain bad natures, they can cost you your life, even if it was inadvertently. This man was no good from the beginning. This night was not going to end well from the beginning. And I'll tell you why. There's a history. If you go back to different stories and you follow Jprincejr and the people he's around, for some odd reason, he tends to be in the midst of, and this is not Jprincejr, I'm just saying the guy here is affiliated with Jprincejr. This is from Jprincejr camp, allegedly. And they're all friends with Quavo and so forth. They're kind of like associates. They're not like buddy like Quavo is, like close with Takeoff. They're just kind of affiliates, friends, you know, whatever, associates, but they're not that close. You know what I mean? Like somebody you hanging out with, but they're not like brother, you know, brotherly like that. You know what I mean? They're like associates, basically. Sometimes you don't know people really that well. And this guy looks like he's on edge. There was no need. I need you to listen to those words, because at the very end of the words, before the shooting begins, Quavo's about to leave. Another red flag is the guy in the orange says, "Y'all about to hurt somebody." He saw that man pull out the gun and he got the heck out of the way, because as soon as he started leaving, the gun discharges. This whole story, this man to me is no good, period. He's no good. I know this was a mistake. I don't think he wanted to kill Takeoff. but he wanted to kill somebody because he shot the gun. And he did it in a negligent, careless way. So whether he intended to target Takeoff, he intended to kill someone. And for what? Why? Why when Quavo ended the fight? Quavo was done. There was no danger to Quavo. Why did you need to escalate it now and discharge a firearm in a group of people, in a group of bystanders at that? So I want you to listen to the words one more time, and then we're going to read this article, and then we're going to go into the cause of death of Quavo because they already completed the autopsy. You heard that? You heard that? He said, y'all gonna hurt somebody, bro. The one thing you gotta know, that man right there, we didn't get to see the whole incident. We didn't get to see what he saw to make him feel alarmed like that. But if you are a type of person that are in certain environments like this, you got to know how to read energy. You got to have a spirit of discernment. You got to know how to feel the energy. That man, he has a spirit of discernment. He felt the energy escalating, and his spirit told him to get out the way. Sadly, Takeoff didn't have that same discernment. Takeoff is so chill. He's so chill that he doesn't know how to really read the energy in the room. You can even see him when he's watching. He's kind of just not really recognizing the danger that's about to unfold. He's just chilling. But when you're a good person, you got to be able to have a spirit of discernment. If you're a good person, you can't always be so laxed and have your guard down so much that you don't recognize when things can become deadly. So let's watch this video, listen more to the voice of Quavo. This part's just going to show the shooting, but we're going to really play it again so you can hear Quavo, because Quavo seems to de-escalate the argument, which means basically there was no need to shoot in the first place. There's the firearm right there. That is the friend with the gun. He had his hand on the gun ready to shoot, already ready to go. Why? See, and the other guy's like, you don't have to be disrespectful like that. This to me sounded like, okay, first of all, they shouldn't be arguing. But if you listen to the content of the argument, it looks like a civilized argument. You don't usually hear somebody, this guy's not even cursing at Quavo. He's actually trying to de-escalate. It sounds to me like the guy respects Quavo, because he's like, he could have easily been like, yo, mother effing, brr. That's like an argument where you could tell it's getting escalated. These two seem like they're arguing like homies that had just a little small disagreement. They're not cursing at each other. They're not uttering violent threats at each other. It's the most laxed argument I have heard between a Discord. Even Quavo's not really getting too aggressive. Quavo's just talking about how the guy has seen him play basketball before and he doesn't get down like that. So he's just trying to say, this is not my character, whatever they were talking about. He's basically saying, you know, I don't play like that. You know my character. You know how I play in other things. The other guy's like, hey, you don't have to be disrespectful about it. You know, we can resolve this in a civilized manner. So it didn't seem like this was really a real aggressive kind of argument where there was a need to shoot a gun. This guy here seems like he just is he seems like he's one of those friends that just like to escalate things when there's any form of a disagreement. He's one of those people that just like to cause problems in any situation. There are those people out there like that. Any little discord, they're ready to shoot. That's the type of guy this guy is, just looking for trouble. Because he had his hand on the gun, even though when you listen to the substance of the argument, it didn't really call for the need to use a gun. There was no need. Then again, guys, we're only getting a partial, blurred, kind of covered video. We don't know we don't have a full video of like what was going on. What did this guy see? Maybe he saw another guy from the other guy's camp have his hand on a gun and he just quickly reacted. We don't know because we don't have a full video. So I'm only analyzing it from a partial video. We didn't see the whole room. We didn't see what this guy saw that could have made him believe there was a need to discharge the gun. But this guy to me just looks like he's a type of dude that's just looking for trouble. You know those people that just out there looking for trouble? and they're on edge. And so any little small agreement, they think there's a need to escalate it, because this argument seemed real small and petty to me. Listen to it again. Look, he said, I ain't playing no basketball, bro. You don't even hear Quavo cussing at the guy. That's the thing. Like, if this was really one of those arguments where it was getting aggressive and violent, you would hear mother effing this, mother effing that. No, Quavo's just like, I don't play basketball like that. And he calls the guy bro. Like, you know what I mean? Do you call somebody you have a rival with bro? No. He knows the guy. They had a little disagreement. They're going to end it. Jazz Prince and his camp, they tend to always get ready to shoot people, y'all. Allegedly. People are saying that, and other people who have known about this guy, because same camp, Jazz Prince was somehow in a dice game, and there was a jeweler that was playing in that dice game, and there was a shooting in that same incident, y'all, and somebody died. So it looks like these type of dudes just be looking for trouble. They just be ready for it. Any moment, any opportunity. And here you can see they're pointing at the gun here. You can see his hand is on the firearm, ready to just discharge the firearm. Did you hear that? He said, I gotta go. I ain't doing SHIT. That's the last words of Quavo before the firearm went off. Quavo said, I gotta go. I ain't doing SHIT. See, Quavo was ready to go. The problem was Quavo and Takeoff were around the wrong affiliates. That's what's happened in this sad story. They got caught up with the wrong people. Jazz Prince and his homies and all them people are no good. They're no good. And that's why this happened. If Quavo was not hanging out with Jazz Prince and this dude, Takeoff would have been alive. Quavo was done. Quavo was like, whatever, man, I gotta go. I ain't doing SHIT. That means he was done. He wasn't gonna fight. He wasn't gonna do anything. He said, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing, the cuss word. And ready to leave. So then the guy that he's hanging out with starts shooting? This is a case of Quavo and Takeoff getting involved with the wrong people. That's what happened. Even if it was an accident, they were around the wrong people. People who are on edge, people who have a history of always quickly discharging their firearm any opportunity they get. Because there was a prior incident with the same affiliates killing a jeweler in a parking lot somewhere over a dice game in that incident. So these people seem to be in the vicinity where there's always a gun being discharged. They're so ready to use that gun any moment. It's like they're looking for an opportunity. They're ready for any little disagreement so they can use that gun, because the gun makes them feel almighty and all powerful with it. Yet they don't have any rationality or form of training to know when to use, when not to use, when to diffuse, not to diffuse. They don't even know how to aim the thing because they're randomly shooting in a crowd of people, not realizing how are you really protecting your friend if you're randomly shooting in a crowded group. Don't you think those bullets can randomly injure your own friends, but yet they don't care? They don't care that they could possibly kill the very people they're trying to protect, which means in reality, they're no good. They're not good people. And that's sadly what happened, is that Quavo and Takeoff got involved with the wrong people, y'all. The wrong people. That's what happened. So sad. So let's take a look at this, and then we're going to go into that. So basically, what the neighborhood talk says is that a new video seems to support rumors that someone from Quavo and Takeoff's camp may have been involved in Takeoff's shooting death. Video footage obtained by TMZ shows a man holding a gun while Quavo is heard speaking with someone in the background. Quavo attempts to walk away. Quavo attempts to walk away. He said, let's go. I've been done hurt somebody. He says, after that, shots rang out. So Quavo knew how to defuse the incident. He was going to leave. That means the people that he was around, those people weren't good energy. Those people instead did not match Quavo's energy. Instead, those people that he was around were all about bad energy. Those are the people that are always ready to use their gun any opportunity. Whereas Quavo, on the other hand, he knows when to diffuse a situation, get out of there. His words were, let's go. I've been done hurt somebody, he says. And that's when shots ring out. So he was saying, let's leave before I hurt someone. I know my nature. I know if I keep being in this argument, I'm going to hurt somebody. So he was the bigger man to say, I'm going to be out of here. I'm done. But he was around the wrong energy, y'all. See, there's a lot of spiritual influences on these things. I'm sorry, I'm a woman of God, so I will read things spiritually. So you have to understand that about me being able to look at the spiritual realm to realize the spiritual realm that was wrapped around Quavo was people with bad energy, demonic spirits, men like this right here, the person of interest, who are always ready to discharge a firearm, and they have a spirit of death on them because they have no regard for human life. Meaning, firearms have no ability to identify their person of interest that they want to take out, basically. So when you have people with this spirit of death on them and they wildly shoot guns, escalating a fight that wasn't even necessary, those are people with bad energy that can endanger your life and have a spirit of death upon you and those around you. Quavo was done. He tried to leave. He was the bigger man to get out of the argument because he knew his nature. He knew he was going to do something he didn't want to do. And that, to me, I respect Quavo for that, because there's other times where Quavo is not so smart and can tend to escalate things, as we already know. But he knew his nature and he was out. He said, let's go. I've been to hurt somebody. And there's actually a part, we listened to the video where he says, let's go, or basically, I'm out. I ain't doing SHIT. I ain't doing SHIT. So he was basically letting the guy know, look, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to escalate this. I'm done. Let's move on. But he was around a spirit of death. He was around a man like this who is on edge, who is just always waiting around to use a gun. That's why you guys have got to be people of spirit of interest, because those spirits are very easy to read. Had Quavo had that spirit of discernment, he would have already knew the bad vibes he got around this man. And when you get those bad vibes, you got to already not be around those people, because those people can cost you your life. They don't think rationally that, hey, if I discharge this gun in a crowded room, I'm not really in reality protecting my friend. I'm also endangering my friend. See, a wise person can be able to anticipate stuff like that, to realize if I wildly discharge this firearm, I may end up killing my own friend. So am I really protecting my friend in that situation? No. He didn't even warn his friend to get out the way. That's the thing too. Then when you notice the particular areas where, and the thing I noticed too is that Takeoff was not in the same vehicle with Quavo and this man that night. That's another question I have. He's he's close and locked in with Quavo. They always are seen with each other all the time. Why did Takeoff decide to arrive at this birthday party in a separate vehicle from Quavo and this man and Jprincejr? That is a huge red flag for me. I'm wondering, there's got to be something around it. Did Takeoff have a weird vibe around these people and didn't really want to be around them, but was kind of there just to show support to Quavo? Because other people are saying Takeoff didn't even hang out with them really. He was in his own little world. I think he already knew there was bad vibes with Jazz Prince and this dude. I think from get-go, Takeoff didn't like the energy, which is why he wasn't playing the dice game with them. He was in his own little section. He wasn't hanging out with them. People are saying he was in his own little world. And then when the fight happened, that's when he, just like everybody else who was bystanders, came just to see what was going on because he wanted to make sure his uncle was okay. And he was directly behind Quavo, which is why he got caught in the crossfire. Which makes me wonder, you guys, was this random? Was this random or was this intentional? The reason why I question that, guys, is because those bullets were aimed in the direction of Quavo because it skipped past Quavo and hit Takeoff, who was directly in the same behind Quavo. He was right by Quavo. Quavo's in the middle of the crowd. Takeoff is behind Quavo. The bullets go towards the direction of Quavo, skips Quavo, shoots, and lands into Takeoff. So the question I have is, was this really random? Was this really random? Was this like people are saying, it was a stray bullet, was it? And then the bullets and where it landed was so precise. Looked like an execution the way it landed. There's so many questions. Bad energy, bad vibes, dude that just ready to shoot whenever he gets a chance when the whole fight was over. And the fight wasn't even a big fight. They weren't cussing at each other. They weren't saying, hey, I'm gonna shoot you, bro, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. There was no threats told. Quavo said he's out. He's done. Then you shoot? Something ain't right, guys. Something ain't right about this dude right here. I'm wondering. Some people could be jealous. Some people who claim to be your friends are not really. They're not really your friends. Takeoff didn't ride with them that night. And before the story started unfolding, that didn't sit well with me. I was wondering in my head, I'm like, why didn't Takeoff ride in the same car with them? That's weird. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't mention it. I should have mentioned it in the first video. But that to me already was weird because Quavo and Takeoff are usually never seen apart. They're always hanging out together. If they're going to a party, they're in the same car. They're always kind of latched at the hip with each other. It's just weird to me. Very weird. They're in Texas. They're not even from Texas, number one. They're from Atlanta. So they're in another state that they're not really, out at all the time. They're allegedly on vacation, quote unquote, because they're at the birthday party with each other, traveled to Texas together. So you have to ask, why did they take separate vehicles? Takeoff didn't like those dudes' energy. He knew they were bad energy. Takeoff's the type of dude that if he feels bad vibes, he ain't going to be around that. Which is why he didn't even ride with them. He didn't hang out with them that night. He just came there to support Quavo in reality and, show support to this guy, Jazz Prince. But I think from the get-go, he didn't feel good vibes about those dudes. Get-go, I tell you. That was my whole thing. And now it's all making sense to me because I was wondering, why didn't Takeoff ride with his own? They're always seen together. And you're in a different state. You flew to this state with your uncle who you're close with, you grew up with. You guys are never seen apart, basically, when you're hanging out together in different states. And all of a sudden, you randomly take a separate car. That didn't feel right to me. Takeoff didn't feel good about this dude from the get-go. He knew he was trouble. He knew what he was about. He knew the history of these individuals, and he knew they weren't good vibes. So he didn't ride with them that night. And that night when they were having the party, Takeoff was in his own little world, just keeping his own. He was there, for image and supporting his supporting his uncle and being there for his uncle. And, he was associates with these people. So he was friends with them, but sometimes when your friend is friends with somebody else and you just feel something's not right with the person, they got weird vibes, but you're still going to hang out with them because your close friend is around them. You want to show support to your close friend. That's what this sounds like to me, in my opinion. All right. Videos posted from earlier that night confirm that the suspect in the video is actually an associate / brother to Quavo. And notice the words here. Brother to Quavo. It doesn't say Quavo and Takeoff. It just says Quavo. That's a red flag to me. Because why isn't Takeoff in there? Takeoff, no, it doesn't say associate to Quavo and Takeoff. Because Takeoff wasn't cool with them. He probably already warned Quavo about these dudes. He probably was like, yo, I'll be there for image or whatever, but I don't feel cool about these dudes. But I'm gonna support you and I'm gonna go with you. But I don't like these dudes. Because look, he's an associate and brother of Quavo. This whole paragraph never mentions and Takeoff anywhere in the whole paragraph. That's huge. That is huge because Takeoff didn't like their energy. He already knew these people were trouble. But he just wanted to protect his uncle. That's why he went. Telling y'all, even in the photos when he was there, he was never seen taking a picture with these dudes. He's out in the back smoking in one picture and he takes a picture with another dude. Because he didn't like their energy, y'all. He warned Quavo about those dudes. Quavo didn't listen. And it's not Quavo's fault because Quavo wasn't ready to go. Quavo was around people that did not match his energy. They didn't know how to read the room like Quavo did. Quavo knew how to de-escalate. The people he was around were the opposite energy of him. They were escalating. He was de-escalating. They don't match each other's energy. When you have friends, you got to have friends that match your energy and they know how to read you. When you're not on the same vibe with an energy of your friend, they can cause an escalation to a situation when there's no necessity. They didn't have the same energy. One's de-escalating, the other one's escalating. Bad energy, bad vibe, bad connection because they can't match each other's vibes. And he could not read Quavo's energy, who's ready to de-escalate, which means they're not on the same wavelength. Which means they should have never been friends in the first place. Because if you can't read your own friend, that means you're not even close with this person. When you're close with your friends and you have a real, true relationship with your friend, you can read your friend and you know when your friend is ready to de-escalate something and you can match their vibes. Why did he need to shoot when nobody else was shooting? Nobody else was endangering. Quavo was leaving the argument. The argument seemed like a really small argument too. It didn't seem like anything was needed to do that, right? So let's read that again. This is read the words here. Videos posted from earlier that night confirm that the suspect in the video is actually an associate brother of Quavo. But what about Takeoff? Interesting. Known socially as Migo Bands. He and Quavo were pictured together in several posts. On Migo Bands, Instagram says he is the head of AR at Quavo's Huncho Records. According to TMZ, he is now a person of interest. Nowhere in here it says he and Takeoff. That's huge. This is sounding more and more sketchy to me, y'all. More and more sketchy to me. I don't like the energy in this. The investigation is still underway and police have not confirmed if bullets from his firearm struck Takeoff. So we have to understand that they still need to do the ballistic test. They're going to be able to decipher what bullets are the fault of the injuries because they're going to do the ballistics. The question is, are they going to be able to get this firearm back? Because pretty much this guy probably already got rid of the firearm. So they're probably not going to see that firearm. There have been conflicting reports from witnesses that say it could have been an accident or that another party was shooting as well. Okay, like I said, Quavo's and this dude didn't have the same energy. One person knows how to de-escalate, the other person escalated. They didn't match each other's vibe, which means they weren't really as close as they claimed to be because he couldn't read the room and he couldn't read the energy in the room. So even if it was not intentionally to kill Takeoff, this man posed a danger to not only Takeoff, but to Quavo and to everyone in that room because he just randomly discharged multiple rounds into a crowded area. Does that really really um does that really sound reasonable? Now, here we see someone that says, I heard a pop before he aimed, looked like self-defense. And again, this analysis that I have made has really no grounds until we see the whole video. We only seen a partial video. Like I said, I could be wrong. What if this man here saw something in that area? What if he saw somebody put their hand on their firearm and lift the firearm up? And then that's why he responded that way. But even if he did and he was trying to protect his friend, why didn't he warn Takeoff and Quavo to say, get out the way, move, I'm about to shoot? Something at least to protect. Like, how are you protecting your friend if you randomly shooting in a crowd? You know what I mean? How are you protecting him? Now, the thing is, guys, you have to understand, there's cameras over there. So the officers are going to be able to precisely pinpoint and slow down the videos to identify who shot first, what gun was aimed where bullets went. They're going to be able to have all this information, y'all. And even if, let's say, it wasn't his firearm and those bullets aren't at the fault of Takeoff's death, he will still be charged for felony murder for negligently discharging a firearm in a crowded area. He will be charged for at least felony murder, one or the other, because he intended to kill someone when he shot. So it didn't matter whether he intended to kill Takeoff or not. He intended to kill someone. So that will still make him liable or at fault. So this will be quickly resolved. You will see, guys, and it's very sad that it had to be from his own camp. And now Quavo is in a conflict of interest because he's going to have to testify against his own friend. Now, the cause of death, guys, has been revealed. And they are saying that it was a gunshot wound to the head, so we got that right. But there also was a gunshot wound to the chest into the arm. Those were very precise hits. The head and the chest, two vital areas. Either Takeoff is a very unfortunate, unlucky man, or it sounds like an execution. The head and the chest. Now, logically, Takeoff is a taller man. Bullets do fly pretty high. So logically, it makes logical sense how a stray bullet could have hit him in the head. And, you know, people aren't as tall as Takeoff is. So logically, hit him in the chest if they're not as tall and they're not aiming high. So that makes sense for stray bullets. But there's still the other theory. Was this a hit? Was there any evil ulterior motives that was going on? And the gun seemed to be aimed in the area where Quavo was because Takeoff was directly behind Quavo. So if you're protecting your friend, why are you shooting in the area where your friend is? Why aren't you shooting in the other area where the guy or the danger is? Why are you shooting in the area where your friends are located? That's a question to be asked. It's very suspect to me. This story just seems real suspect. So, guys, you let me know what you guys think. It don't feel right. Yeah, it could be probably felony murder. Hi, Laddie London. Laddie London says manslaughter, possibly. But I don't even think they're gonna do manslaughter, guys. I think they might go for because this guy definitely shot that gun with the intent to kill somebody. Negligent discharge of a firearm, felony murder rule probably will take place. They're gonna get maybe second-degree murder. This is a celebrity. I don't think they're going to be light on him. Defense is going to argue manslaughter, Lottie. I think defense will definitely argue manslaughter. But the prosecution is going to probably go for felony murder or second-degree murder. That's probably where their theory is going to go. The defense is going to try to to minimize it and say it was a manslaughter. So that's going to definitely be the defense's theory. This is a very sad tragedy. But I'll keep you guys posted on this one. This one just keeps getting sadder and sadder. We will see what happens from here. All right, guys, take care.